Chapter 1: The Crimson Tide. The crimson sun dipped below the jagged peaks of Olympus Mons, casting long shadows across New Olympus. The city, a marvel of Martian terraforming, hummed with a vibrant energy. Hydroponic farms, glowing emerald under artificial lights, snaked through the canyons, providing sustenance for the bustling colony. But tonight, a chilling undercurrent disrupted the usual harmony. Dr. Aries Thorne, a man etched with the lines of relentless study and quiet determination, stood on his balcony, a glass of Martian-grown wine clutched in his hand. His dark eyes, usually sharp with intellectual curiosity, held a flicker of unease. The air, usually crisp and recycled, carried a subtle, earthy scent, damp soil and something else, something faintly metallic and sickeningly sweet. "Another tremor," he muttered, the words barely audible above the gentle whir of the colony's life support systems. He'd felt the subtle shudder earlier that evening, a barely perceptible vibration that ran through the Martian bedrock. It was the third in as many weeks, unsettlingly erratic. His communit chirped, a notification from the Central Agricultural Control. He tapped the screen, his brow furrowing as he read the terse message: Hydroponics Section 7, Widespread Fungal Growth. Requesting immediate biohazard assessment. Ares's heart pounded a familiar rhythm, a drumbeat of apprehension and grim familiarity. This wasn't just a standard blight. He'd seen this before, a horrifying echo of a past tragedy. He raced through the winding corridors of New Olympus, the polished metal gleaming under the emergency lights. He reached Section 7, a cavernous expanse filled with tiered hydroponic beds. The scene that greeted him was a horrifying spectacle. The vibrant green had been replaced by a creeping crimson tide, a rapidly spreading fungal growth that consumed the plants with alarming speed. The air hung heavy with the metallic sweetness that had unsettled him earlier. Dr. Thorne, a young technician, his face pale with fear, rushed towards him. "It's spreading too fast. We tried everything, fungicides, sterilization protocols, nothing works." Ares knelt, examining the crimson growth. Its tendrils pulsed with a disturbing life of their own, a grotesque mimicry of the plants they were destroying. He ran a quick analysis with his portable scanner, his blood running cold as he saw the results. This was no ordinary fungus, it was something alien. And it was rapidly mutating. He looked up at the technician, his voice tight with a controlled fury. "Get me Counselor Valeria immediately. Tell her this isn't a simple blight. This is a pandemic waiting to happen." He received a curt, dismissive response from Counselor Valeria herself. "Dr. Thorne, we understand your concerns. But we're handling the situation. Contain the affected section. We'll issue a statement to the public when we deem it necessary." Ares fought to control his rising anger. Valeria, ever the pragmatist, prioritized maintaining order above all else. But this wasn't about order, it was about survival. "Counselor," he pressed, his voice dangerously low. "This isn't just some agricultural issue. This fungus is evolving too rapidly. It's airborne. If we don't act decisively, this colony, hell, the whole planet is at risk." Before Valeria could respond, another tremor shook the ground. This one was stronger, more violent. And as the dust settled, Ares saw it, a newly exposed fissure in the Martian bedrock, pulsating with the same sickening crimson glow as the fungus. The truth hit him with the force of a physical blow: the tremors, the fungus, they were connected. And this wasn't just an outbreak, it was an invasion. Chapter 2: Whispers in the Dust. The weight of the crisis settled heavily on Ares's shoulders. Counselor Valeria's dismissive response had only fueled his determination. He knew the official channels were clogged with bureaucracy and self-preservation. His only hope lay in his own relentless pursuit of a cure, a desperate gamble against a rapidly evolving enemy. He retreated to his secluded lab, a haven of scientific curiosity nestled deep within the Martian canyons. The lab, a testament to his independent spirit, was filled with the hum of sophisticated equipment and the scent of ozone and chemicals. He focused his attention on the data from Section 7, the alien fungus's genetic sequence, a maddeningly complex puzzle. "It's evolving too fast," he murmured, running his hand through his already disheveled hair. "Conventional methods are useless. His gaze fell on a dusty, forgotten file, research notes on Martian extremophiles, organisms capable of thriving in the planet's harsh environments. A long-dormant idea flickered in his mind. Days bled into weeks. Ares worked tirelessly, fueled by coffee, determination, and the haunting memories of his family, lost to a less virulent strain of the same fungal pathogen years ago. He pored over ancient research logs, uncovering forgotten expeditions and the whispers of a far older, more terrifying secret. The extremophiles, he discovered, held the key. Their resilience to harsh conditions hinted at a possible resistance to the crimson rot. One evening, while combing through data from a long-abandoned research facility beneath New Olympus, he stumbled upon a hidden vault. Inside, he found centuries-old records, documents detailing previous encounters with a fungus remarkably similar to the crimson rot. The text, faded and brittle, spoke of a time when humanity's ancestors had battled this ancient foe, utilizing extremophile genetics to create a counteragent. Incredible, he breathed, his fingers tracing the words etched on crumbling parchment. This wasn't just a recent outbreak, this was a recurring nightmare, a threat humanity had faced and almost forgotten. He emerged from the vault, a renewed fire in his eyes. He needed a team, people who could believe in his unorthodox methods, his desperate gamble. He reached out to Dr. Lena Hansen, a brilliant but ostracized biochemist, Kai Ito, a maverick geneticist known for his unorthodox techniques, and Dr. Jen Lee, a seasoned immunologist who shared his skepticism of the Council's official line. Their initial meeting was tense. Lena was hesitant, skeptical of Ares's unconventional approach. Kai was enthusiastic but reckless. Jen was pragmatic, focused on the limited resources and the immense risk. But Ares's passion, his conviction, his unveiling of the ancient records, began to sway them. "We're not just fighting a plague," Ares stated, his voice low and intense. "We're fighting a legacy. A recurring threat. And the only way we can win is by looking beyond the established paradigms, by embracing the unexpected." Lena hesitated, then nodded slowly. "I'm in." Kai grinned, a spark of excitement in his eyes. Jen, ever the realist, added, "But we need to move quickly and quietly. The Council won't tolerate this kind of defiance." As they began their clandestine collaboration, the whispers of the ancient records fueled their efforts. The fight for survival had taken on a new dimension, not just against the crimson rot, but against the complacency and secrecy that had almost led to humanity's demise before. The race against time had begun, a desperate scramble for knowledge and a gamble against an ancient, malevolent force. Chapter 3: Seeds of Rebellion. The Martian dust swirled outside Ares's lab window, mirroring the chaos unfolding within New Olympus. The crimson rot spread with terrifying speed, defying all conventional containment efforts. Hospitals overflowed, the metallic sweetness of the fungal spores permeating the air, a constant reminder of the looming catastrophe. The Council, initially dismissive, now scrambled to implement increasingly desperate, and often brutal, measures. Curfews were enforced, movement restricted, and whispers of forced quarantines filled the hushed corridors of the colony. Ares and his team worked day and night, their small, clandestine operation a beacon of hope against the encroaching darkness. They had made significant progress, isolating a crucial extremophile enzyme capable of neutralizing the crimson rot's aggressive properties. But they faced a critical roadblock. They needed access to the colony's most advanced gene editing technology, the Kronos array, a system under the exclusive control of the Council. "They won't give it to us," Jen Lee stated grimly, his voice laced with weariness. "Not without a massive political concession, a complete surrender of our independence." "We don't have time for political games," Kai Ito retorted, his usually calm demeanor frayed. "We need the array. It's the only way we can synthesize the counteragent at scale." Lena Hansen, her normally sharp gaze clouded with worry, added, "We've already seen the Council's response. They're prioritizing control and public image over effective action. We can't rely on them." Ares, his face etched with grim determination, said, "Then we take it." Their clandestine operation to access the Kronos array was fraught with risk. They navigated the colony's intricate security systems, using a combination of Ares's ingenious hacking skills and Kai's intimate knowledge of the facility's infrastructure. The tension was palpable, every silent footstep, every whirring vent, a potential alarm. But as they neared their target, a disturbing discovery shattered their carefully laid plans. A data leak, originating from within the Council itself, revealed a shocking truth: the Council hadn't merely been negligent, they had been actively experimenting with the Crimson Rot, attempting to weaponize it for their own nefarious purposes. The fungal outbreak wasn't an accident, it was a deliberate act of bioterrorism, a calculated gamble for power. They knew, Lena whispered, her voice choked with disbelief. They knew all along and they let it happen. The